Sound is on. So exciting.
Okay, the hour is 7 o'clock, so we will begin. This is a meeting of the Board of the Redevelopment Agency of Tooele City, meeting today in a business meeting, November 2nd at 7, held in the Tooele City Hall Council Chambers, and we're also streaming on Tooele City's YouTube channel. We'll begin with a roll call. Board Member McCall.
Present.
Board Member Brady.
Present.
Board Member Groff.
Present.
And I am Board Member Manzio, and I'm also present. And we will excuse Board Member Hansen, who is not here this evening and asked to be excused. We'll begin with an RDA, or Economic Development Update, presented by Jared Stewart, our Economic Development Director.
Turn this around and then turn it back the other way in case others need it later. Okay, thank you, Council. Thanks for the opportunity to give an update. There's a lot of things that have happened since we had our last RDA meeting. First thing I think we'd like to start with is Founders Point, the development at 1000 North and Main Street. And there's our next agenda item is also related to this, so I'll try not to be too redundant here, but I think first thing on that is that they are asking, the development agreement that we have with between the RDA and the developer is actually they have, I think, 3 different LLCs that it's kind of divided between. They'd like to consolidate that to one, which is normal and acceptable in the agreement. It lines out the process of how to do that. That's actually helpful because then we know who to send the check to, right? Checks to, and it's just one agency, an LLC, rather than 3. Same individuals, nothing's actually really changing there. And we'll kind of address that in our next agenda item here. So I guess next thing, update on their site plan approvals. We are waiting for them on some information for bonding right now. They're doing some calculations in terms of their bonding amounts that need to be submitted to the city, and after which they will have an approved site plan. So I would anticipate that they'll have, just based on emails, that they'll get that information to us this week, and then hopefully by next week everything will be going on that site. So what does that mean, right? We have some contractual obligations to the development based on the agreement. First of which is, you should have a summary of this in your packet as well. But per that agreement, we make an annual payment of $150,000. So that's an invoice that we expect to see from them in coming weeks. Probably at our next in a couple weeks, we should have an invoice to bring for that, and then a payment of one-time payment of $250,000 also. In addition to that, right, and this is just something to think about too, is the tax increment financing. So per the agreement, it's time, once they start construction, to trigger the redevelopment project area, which will mean that a tax increment will be gathered as they build. The new increased property revenues will kind of come back and be redistributed to them to help pay for the development. So we need to trigger that either November or December. And how that works is there's an agreement between the redevelopment agency and each of the taxing entities. So we have an agreement with Tooele City, agreement with Tooele County, and agreement with the school district. The school district's agreement required that it be triggered by December 31st, 2022. So we need to trigger that before the end of the year. It seems to make sense that we just trigger all 3 of those at the same time, so that it's not really confusing down the road and in terms of when those begin and end. So, and then, I think that's about it. And there's a good summary of that in your packet as well. So, are there any questions on that? I mean, these development agreements, this was kind of established in 2019 as the property was sold. And I think we're all really anticipating the development, right, and the benefit that will be to the city and the community. But are there any questions on that particular part of this update and that agreement?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so the agreements, from my understanding, were put in place many years ago, right, on the original piece of land, because it was going to be developed at, 10 years ago maybe? That fell through. So these agreements have been in place for quite some time, and now we're finally seeing this come to fruition. So just for the benefit of the public, this is an agreement that we just made recently. It was something that's been in the making for quite some time.
But the potential, tax revenue that it's going to bring to our city is pretty great.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, and sometimes there's these numbers that are thrown out that, it is supporting the development so that then we can receive the revenue in the future, and they pay off, right? That's the objective of a redevelopment agency, is to kind of provide the initial help, and then we receive a return on that investment. So, yeah, it's good. And everything that we receive in tax increment is new revenue anyways that's generated from the development. So it's just kind of reinvesting that. So, all right. Next update, right? So I wanted to provide an update on the Tooele Business Park, which is the commercial property that's owned by the redevelopment agency just south of the Tooele Technical College and the USU extension. We were trying to sell that, right? And we received a letter of termination from our buyer. And so that sale did not go through. We then kind of saw an opportunity, right? We're like, okay, what's our next step in terms of this property? Do we continue trying to sell the whole thing? We decided to take the opportunity and we terminated our listing agreement that we had at the time, and we can now take this next few months to do several things, right? One of which is rezone the property. Right now it's kind of a mix of research and development zoning with light industrial zoning. That's the sections that aren't owned by Tooele, the redevelopment agency. So one thing I wanted to propose and get your thoughts on is if we, with your consent, move forward with a rezone of the property to a commercial special district, right? And that's a zoning district that was established by you, I think, just within the last year, right? Mm-hmm. So that would allow us to have custom development standards, architectural standards, uses for the property, amenities, a uniform signage and branding for the property, and kind of have a business park that's more master planned. What are your thoughts on that? Are there questions on what that would entail in terms of rezoning the property? It would include, property that the redevelopment agency owns, but also other privately held parcels there too, which we already have had preliminary conversations with some of those owners to let them know what's kind of happening too. Thoughts on that, on rezoning it?
So just a quick question, will this broaden our horizons of potential buyers, interested parties? And if the answer is yes, then I fully support that.
Yes, and it certainly wouldn't limit, like the commercial special district would allow us flexibility in terms of who we can attract, and we kind of think it will be a benefit because it's an organized kind of master planned business development then, right? Yeah.
Excellent.
We have been rezoning, as we've sold small parcels off, we've been rezoning a little bit at a time, and it has been a little bit of an issue with the planning commission. When we come before them, they're like, okay, can we just, what's the plan here? Kind of, like, why are we rezoning this little parcel? So I think this could be a really great opportunity for us to have our plan and be able to recruit what we want there. instead of just somebody coming to us and we're like, yeah, we'll sell off 7 acres here, 9 acres here, 30 acres here, without really having a plan.
I think that's great.
Can we rezone areas that the RDA doesn't own, though? Because doesn't the owner have to, we can just rezone anything?
Yeah, zoning, of course, they would be notified, right? They would, and the intent is to be very collaborative with them, right? Be very upfront in terms of, hey, we're interested in doing this. Would you like to give input even before we bring it to a planning commission meeting or a council meeting for that actual rezone? So no surprises for anyone that owns property there. So.
And it could make their property more marketable as well, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, and I don't think we've had anywhere in the city that has this commercial service district, and I'm really excited to see what we can do with it. When we talked about it like a year ago, like you were saying, it's a great idea to kind of have a master plan commercial area. So
Yeah, and it seems throughout this whole process of trying to sell the property and that falling through, it seems that we learned once you sell it, you can't. Then we no longer have control over the vision and the future of the area and trying to create jobs and attract businesses. Then it's really in the hands of whoever owns it, right? And so we kept encouraging this buyer to start a rezone process, but they never really did. So I think we can drive this. So another update on that property is it's adjacent to a Union Pacific Railroad line, right? And so that presents an additional opportunity to utilize that rail infrastructure. So at this time, we've reached out to Union Pacific. We've learned about what that process entails to create a rail spur, and they have a process and an application for a development concept, right? And they have recommended various rail engineering firms that they've worked with. We reached out to 3 of those who are Utah-based. They had several others that were out of state, but and 2 of those we have preparing proposals that we can then bring back to you and discuss further, and a 3rd one that we are meeting with next week that we have a scheduled meeting with. So I think that's a great opportunity. In one of those meetings, we learned that Union Pacific actually has a focus site program, which would basically, we can prepare the site and Union Pacific will be aware of our site, the information there, the opportunities there, and they can actually funnel potential new businesses to our site and help us market to new business, right? That will benefit them, of course, but also create jobs in the city. So, yeah, I think that's updates there. Questions on that property? Okay, thank you. Couple other quick updates. The traffic light at Utah Avenue and Lodestone, we budgeted $150,000 for that light and roadway improvements, and it has come out, even with a couple change orders, under budget. We have $38,000 remaining to that budget, so that's just an update. And yeah, I think that's it on that one. So great. So that's good news, right? Under budget's always a good thing to hear. And we do have 2 potential business interests going on right now. First of which is called Project USA Mine. That's a group we have been in touch with through the state. They had a site visit that we attended in early September at the Peterson Industrial Depot. They are interested in purchasing property from, or actually leasing property from PID, and are looking to locate here next year. They don't use very much water, which is great, right? We can anticipate that they use about 1,600 gallons of water per day, which is about 2 acre feet annually.
That's awesome.
I know, right? So it's a good thing. We like businesses that create jobs and don't use very much water. So they'll have 100 jobs here, 30 of which will be relocated from Colorado, and 70 of which will be created here with a $5 million capital investment. The Peterson Industrial Depot, as they are building this new building for the project, has asked the RDA to consider assisting with impact fees and water payment. So that's just something that we will want to discuss further as that project moves forward, but just an update I wanted to give you. Impact fees, as we estimate those, look to be about $35,000. And the water fee in lieu of water payment for that 2 acre feet, it would be about $76,000. So that's about 111 total. So just to consider, keep in mind, we'll talk about that in the future as well. And great thing is that's in a redevelopment area already. So that is a viable place where the RDA could assist and help contribute for that. And the last update I have here is called Project Gotham. That's actually, and these names are kind of created by the state, right, as we work with their incentive group to kind of protect their industry like competitiveness, you know, so kind of funny project names. But this is a roofing manufacturer looking to expand westward, right? They are looking at Elko, Nevada, Twin Falls, Idaho, and Tooele. So they seem to prefer our site based on just a logistical, roadway locations, rail locations. They're hoping to create 80 jobs and use 10 to 12 acres. They're interested in our commercial property, the business park they would be interested in potentially purchasing property as soon as like March, right? So kind of we've had some preliminary great conversations with them and connected them with the state incentive group as well. So they would need only water for bathrooms and culinary kitchens, bathrooms kind of thing. So that's, I think, the last update I have here. Questions on all those projects? I know that's a lot. I'm trying to not take up too much time because I know we have lots of people waiting for other things here tonight. So,
Questions?
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, item 4 is Resolution 2022-06, a resolution of the Redevelopment Agency of Tooele City, Utah, consenting to the assignment of the development and participation agreement from Tally 3 LLC, MRI Investment LLC, and 1030 Salt Lake City LLC to Tooele 1000 LLC for 33 acres of land located at Main Street and 1000 North, presented by Jared Stewart, Economic Development Director.
thank you, Council. So as I mentioned, this is the assignment from 3 names down to 1 name. Same group we've been working with the whole time, and you are required to consent to a reassignment. When, per the agreement, they have to approach us and get written consent by resolution to allow them to pass the entity and the agreement requirements on. So this will allow them to kind of transfer the agreement and their requirements and onto the new LLC. So, and then they can send us invoices and kind of move forward. So, any questions there?
Questions? If not, then I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved by Board Member Graff. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Board Member Brady. We'll take this to a vote. Board Member McCall.
Aye.
Board Member Brady.
Aye.
Board Member Graff.
Aye.
And I, Board Member Manzione, also vote aye. That passes 4-0. Thank you, Jared.
you.
Yeah, thanks. Item number 5 are the minutes of the Wednesday, June 15th, 2022 RDA business meeting. Minutes, which we should have gotten, we got a long time ago. So hopefully everybody read through those.
I move that we approve the minutes.
Okay, it's moved to approve by Board Member McCall. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And seconded by Board Member Brady. We'll take it to a vote. Board Member McCall.
Aye.
Board Member Brady?
Aye.
Board Member Graff?
Aye.
And I, Board Member Manzione, also vote aye. That passes. And item number 6 are the invoices presented by Michelle Pitt to the RDA Secretary.
Thank you. We just have one invoice to bring to you tonight. It's to Peterson Industrial Depot for the K Avenue sewer line, $200,004.
$200,004.
Yeah, $200,000.
$4.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the invoices.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the invoices as presented. We'll take that to a vote. Board Member McCall?
Aye.
Board Member Brady?
Aye.
Board Member Graff?
Aye.
Board Member Manzione, I also vote aye. That passes. Thank you, Michelle. And that brings us to item number 7, which is to adjourn. Thank you.
All right, the hour being 7:20 on Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022. We will now be meeting as a Tooele City Council in a business meeting being held in the council chambers located at 90 North Main Street in Tooele, Utah. This is also being streamed on the Tooele City YouTube channel. We will start with our first item, which is the Pledge of Allegiance. I've asked Jared Stewart to lead us in that.
All rise and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Move on to item 2, which is a roll call. Councilman McCall,
Present.
Councilman Graff,
Present.
Councilwoman Manzione.
Present.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I'm also present. Councilman Hanson is asked to be excused from this meeting. Item 3 is the Mayor's Community Recognition Awards. This is presented by Mayor Debbie Nguyen.
Welcome, everyone. This is a very, very unique council meeting tonight. I think that maybe this is the first time that this has ever happened. We have a lot of wonderful things happening in our meeting tonight to recognize individuals and groups in our community for the great things that they do. Most of these people are volunteers, give of their time and their money to make our city a wonderful city and great opportunities for people. And I think we really only have one item on the agenda that's like business, so enjoy yourselves. It's going to be a great meeting. So for the past many years, we have had a part of our city council meeting that we have called our Mayor's Youth Recognition Awards. And we have honored hundreds of youth in our community for the great things that they do. And as we find out the way that they live their lives and the things that they stand for, we just are always reminded how awesome it is for these youth to be in our community and help us as adults to learn how to be better people because they are doing wonderful things. As I thought a lot about these youth awards, I realized that there are older people in our community that have graduated from school, and they are doing great things in our community too. So we're going to begin tonight with some new awards that will be a part of our city council meetings, and we're going to call these just Mayor's Community Recognition Awards. We will be in the next couple of months putting out through our social media and in our newsletter how you can nominate people and recognize them for the great things that they are doing. We have too many things that happen in our world that are promoted as negative, and we have so many good things that are happening that we forget. So tonight, I would like to invite Diana Black up here with me. Please give her a round of applause as she comes up. So Diana was nominated by Vivian Rose, a coworker.
Wonderful woman.
See, there you go. She's giving her glory to someone else. That's who you are, and she is wonderful, isn't she? really is. She is awesome. But she had this to say, Vivian had this to say about Diana. I would like to nominate my colleague, Diana Black. She is located at the center of our school, in the library. She also is like the centering person for so many of our faculty. When asked what her job is at the school, many might reply, librarian. Yet she fills a lot of different roles. She was given the extra duty of taking care of all the Chromebooks that our school received when COVID-19 appeared. Thousands. She has been front and center for school activities such as our end-of-year carnivals. When we are desperate for help in the front office, Diana is called to help and does an excellent job. Her hats are varied and fill so many voids. I believe one of her most distinctive attributes is her ability to make everyone feel welcome and valued. From students to staff, she has a welcoming smile, a listening ear, and empathy to spare. Many times I will find her in the library working late in order to complete or prepare for the next day. She gives a lot of her own time and even recruits her family, so things will run smoothly for our school. If I haven't said enough, there are other factors besides her tireless work at the school. She also does volunteer work with a large women's organization. I think she really deserves the mayoral award. And I, too, think she deserves the award. Very much so. So, Diane?
Thank you
Diana,
so much.
here is it. Pictures taken. Council, will you stand up?
Sure. Now we got to tower over the lady.
Real close together so we can see like you can stand each other. Got good? Okay, social media. First community recognition award, and I'm sure that we will have many more, but thank you for what you do for our community.
Yes, thank you. We'll move on to item 4, which is the Mayor's Youth Recreation Grant Awards. This is presented by Mayor Debbie Nguyen.
Okay, these are financial awards. It's always nice to get a little bit of money to help with projects, but what is so impressive about these awards that we will give now are that the money comes from sponsors in our community, business owners who like to play golf or at least like to be outdoors. In the springtime, we host a golf tournament. We call it the Mayor's Tournament up at our Oakry Hills Golf Course. Cody Lopez, our golf pro, is just takes the lead and puts together a very, very great tournament. And we fill up every year where we have no open spaces. We're full, and very, very generous businesses participate. And these are the businesses that participated as sponsors this year: Ace Disposal, Alpha Construction and Electric, Baker Trucking, Broken Arrow, Chartway Credit Union, Coconut Fabrication, Denny's Tooele, Energy Solutions, Ensign Engineering, FDRS West Incorporated, Golden West Health Insurance, Hayden Orthopedics, The Hills Pro Shop, Insurance Network LC, Les Olson IT, Lewis Young Robertson and Birmingham, Mike Zimmerman Well Service, Mountain States Asphalt Incorporated, Mountain West Medical Center, Ochre Mountain Services, Peterson Industrial, Plastic Ingenuity, Private Links, Tooele County, Tooele Valley Pumping LLC, Wasatch Electric, and Wind Trucking. We appreciate their sponsorship of the tournament because the money would not come in if it weren't for their participation. Then what we do with this funding is we recognize all of the great volunteers in this community, again, who give of their time to help youth in our community, whether it is playing sports, art activities, theater, music, drama, all of those different things that, again, people are passionate about and give of their time for our youth in our community. The money that we raise and give to them is never enough to thank them for the hours that they spend year after year in behalf of our youth. So tonight, we are going to be giving away 5 $2,000 grants. And if you are here tonight, I hope that we have a representative. The first one is the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Salt Lake, the Tooele Club. Is Anne Marie Bitter here? Anne Marie? Anyone else from the Boys and Girls Club tonight? I know that sometimes we can't all get here on the same night, but I want you to know the Boys and Girls Club of Tooele has been here for 20 years. They are located in our Dow James building. They use that building, and they also use what we've called the Teen Center up on 7th Street. They serve every year hundreds of children that otherwise would not have a place to go. So we're very excited for them this year. We will give this $2,000 to them to help with all of the programs, but I want you to know they will be expanding their programs very soon when they move into their own building, which they are in the process of renovating. It is a building on Main Street. And again, they will be expanding their services to include childcare for those who can't afford that. They will even have a food pantry and some other services for our community. So we're very grateful to them. Okay. Our next award is to Elite FC Recreation Soccer. Is Mandy here? Mandy Phillips? Mandy's here. Come on up, Mandy. Is that okay to do that up there? You want them?
We just look like we're photo bombers.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Tell me if they do rabbit ears. Just a minute. I just want everyone to know. And you have not hundreds, but thousands. Yeah. Thousands of young people that play soccer. So obviously they've got a lot of energy, and they're going to try to keep all of these kids going. But they are going to use this $2,000 to repair the nets and the wheels of all their goals and purchase better fasteners for the nets. We need those with the winds we have, right? All right, Mandy. Our next award winner is Scout Unit 314, Cameron McBride. Or not McBride, I'm sorry, Cameron McRae. He's going, Cameron, that's me.
Who am I?
Not too many cameras.
Okay, Scouts, what an important program. And this $2,000 is going to be used to provide scholarships for the children to continue participating in the scouting program. Currently, they have 51 scouts, and the fee to process and do the things that they do is $80 per person. And there are many that cannot afford to pay that but want to participate, and this $2,000 will help those who cannot, so that they that don't have the funds to pay, so that we can go through that program. So thank you so much.
She can still see me in the same height. Still.
Okay. The next one is Tooele Ute Football. Is Chelsea here? Chelsea or anyone from the Tooele Ute Football? Again, I think this is more of the maybe thousands that participate. This is a huge group, too. This year, they are going to use this $2,000 to buy new equipment, pay for field rentals. They have to pay to rent those fields, some of them. Sponsor players registration, again, helping those that can't afford to do this, and advertising within our community, which is getting the word out about the great things that they do. So we're appreciative of the Tooele Ute football. And the last award that we are funding that we will give out tonight is to Tooele Youth Baseball. Travis, you want to come on up? How many years you been doing this, Travis? Yeah, he can't remember. Long time. Long time. This year, these funds will be used to help with advertisement, new equipment, supplies, and education for coaching. For as long as I remember, we've played youth baseball in Tooele City. And we need to keep playing that. It's a great organization and a great way for youth to recreate, and we appreciate all you do for the kids.
Thank you. Come on, Dave, you get it right back there.
Justin, you come this way. All right, here we go.
Hi, folks. I'd like to take a second and thank Mayor Wynn. This is the second year for us. Last year, we were able to obviously add 350 players to our rosters. We introduced 14 to 18-year-old umpiring, so we're paying our own kids within our own organization to umpire our own games, which is pretty entertaining for most parents to yell at their own kid when they strike the other kid out, kind of comical. But not only are these kids getting to play, but they're also getting a job out of it, some of them, making some money. Some make some really good money. Some have made a couple $1,000s in the season, so that was great. We were able to buy some more equipment, train coaches, train umpires. It turned out really well. If it wasn't for Mayor Wynn, Tooele City Council, Tooele City, and all the sponsors, these checks wouldn't happen. We try to keep our fees low. All sports do. Parents, we all complain that we don't have enough grounds, enough places to go, but we only have so much money, and without you guys helping, it's rough. I mean, we'd like to have $1 billion to improve Tooele, but we have a small amount, and we'll make it go a long way. Last year, we were able to double this, and hopefully we can do it this year. So once again, Mayor Wynn, thank you. Tooele City Council, thank you guys. We'll see you guys next year.
One more? One more award? No. Oh, one more year? Oh, we won't talk about that tonight. But we will talk about this. If anyone is here that is a representative or works for any of these businesses that were our sponsors, will you please stand so we can give you a round of applause for you and your company? Don't sit down quite so quick. Could you come up, and we would like you to at least tell your name, who you are, and what company you represent, and anything else you want to say. So come on up. Chris, come on up. We couldn't do it without these businesses.
I didn't know we were going to be saying anything. So, I'm with Golden West Health Insurance. I manage the brokerage for Golden West Credit Union, and we do all of the health insurance for all of the employees. So I just want to tell you guys thank you very much, and we love to be a partner with Tooele. Thank you.
I'm Chris Sloan. I'm with Energy Solutions, and I'll echo with everything that he just said. It's really a pleasure to be able to work for a company that understands giving back to the community and especially investing in the youth of those communities. So thank you for the opportunity, Mayor.
Double dipping a little bit. Mountain West Medical Center, I worked there as one of the nurse managers. They knew I would be here tonight, so they asked me to just let the community know that we love to serve our community, not only with your healthcare needs, but to donate the money to help everyone in the community. Thank you.
Well, do we need it? No, we got to stand up again.
Yeah,
And then there were three. And then there were three.
Just they're tall.
Oh, yeah, but we're not photobombing this time.
Thank you for saying a few words and for letting us take your picture. Pictures are important. They tell a story, and we appreciate that. So I only have one more check tonight that we will be presenting to our Ochre Hills Golf Course Junior Golf Program. This year, they had 150 participants, and no youth is ever turned away from our golfing. And if their family cannot pay, it is $125 for an 8-week course. Then we use the scholarship funds to help those youth. Not only will it just support the scholarship fund, but it will also pay for junior clubs that can be loaned out. So what we do is we purchase golf clubs, the junior size, my size. Okay. The junior clubs, and then we let them use those clubs so they don't have to put out the money and they still can participate. And this program just grows every year. So we are very, very grateful for all of those at the golf course. Cody Lopez, our golf pro, again for running that. And that our final funding that we use with this money is three $500 leadership scholarships that we give to 3 local high school seniors, total of $1,500. And I just want you to know that this year, the money that was raised, we didn't give it all out because we didn't have as many people apply this year for grants. So if you are part of a nonprofit organization that takes care of youth in our community, we encourage you to apply for this grant money next year. So thank you again to our sponsors and to all of you that take of your time to give to our youth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Nguyen. We'll move on to item 5, which is an introduction of the 2022-23 Library Teen Advisory Council. This is presented by Kayla Cameron, the Library Program Specialist, and Library Board members.
Our library board members, do you want to come on up too? Yeah, come on up here. Find your buddy. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. We are excited to be here. I am Melissa Brandon, the Tooele City Library Programs Coordinator. Our 2 programmers, Kayla Cameron and Rachel Ye, are here with us tonight. We are here tonight with our library board members to introduce our 2022-2023 Teen Advisory Council, which we are very excited about. The Teen Advisory Council, better known as TAC, is a huge help to us at the library. They give us insight on what's popular, of course, because we don't know, at this age group, as well as help us to plan and implement teen activities at the library. Also, each month they spend several hours volunteering in and outside of the library. They truly love our community and are committed to making it a wonderful place for everyone to live. First, we're going to hear from our TAC president, Cadence Christensen. Then we will turn the time over to our library board members for our introductions. And following that, we will either do pictures here or out in the rotunda. I'm not sure. So we'll turn the time over to Cadence.
Hello, my name is Cadence Christensen, and I'm the president of the Teen Advisory Council. The Teen Advisory Council is a volunteer organization at the Tooele Public Library. We focus on service not only in the library, but in the community too. We love to serve and find it as one of our favorite parts about TAC. I've been on TAC since 7th grade, except for the COVID year, and I know we've done lots of service projects. For example, we've helped out with the Haunted Historic Park, filled backpacks with school supplies, decorated the library for different events and seasons, passed out candy at the downtown trick-or-treat, made hygiene kits for the homeless, cleaned up garbage outside the library, and many other projects. On TAC, we also helped to plan and orchestrate teen and tween times on Thursdays. This year, I hope that we can strive to include others in our community. I hope that we can show teens and tweens that the library is a fun and safe place to be. Thank you.
I am Emily Lee. I am the library board chair, and I am honored to be here tonight. I met a few of, well, all of you, I really did, these teens a few weeks ago, and thrilled to work with them. So I'm going to start. I'm going to introduce Cadence, and then we'll have Berna Sloan introduce a few, and then Christelle Ford introduce, and Susan Callahan, and I will end, so you'll have to hear from me again. But this comes from Melody Barnett, who is also on the library board, who is not able to be here tonight, and this is what she has to say about Cadence. It is an honor to know Cadence Christensen. She is a junior at Tooele High School and the daughter of Portia and Tim Christensen. I got to be her teacher when she was in the 7th grade. I was so impressed by her then and continue to be today. What she most likes about herself is that she is a hard worker. She loves what she does, and she does a lot. She is a force for good, and I'm, for one, am proud of her for all she has done, and even more for the kind of positive person that she is. And that is from Melody Barnett. Maybe we'll hold applause till the very end, and you can all give them a rousing round.
I understand how Jamie gets it all done now. The Haunted Park was awesome. I got to volunteer there, and the kids did just a great job. I just was very impressed with them. But I got to do two girls. Josie Prescott is this one. Come on up. So she goes to Stansbury, and she's in 9th grade, and her parents are Julie and Dustin Prescott. Some of the things she likes most about herself is that she is a quick reader. She likes to read. She reads lots of books, and she likes fantasy. One of the things she wanted to accomplish, which I thought was really cool, she talked about she wanted to have hands-on activities because she said kids are so involved in tech now that they aren't doing anything that you're just out there doing with your actual hands instead of just playing electronics. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. I asked her what she's done. Tell me something about yourself that makes you proud. And she talked about she's in honors classes and then she's also very good at violin. What makes her happy is spending time and bonding with her family and friends. And when she grows up, she wants to be a psychologist. Okay, Lexi Christensen. Okay, so she also goes to Stansbury, and she's also in 9th grade. And her parents are Samantha and Sean Christensen. And she loves to write, paint, and do poetry. Right? Oh my goodness! It's good. Do you write?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not poetry, though.
But not poetry? I don't like poetry either. So I have no idea why I put it down. Okay. I asked her what she would hope to do with the teens, and she said she'd like to help with social skills, community building, and getting to know each other better. Too right. And she has won the state science fair twice. She went for 5th grade and 7th grade and took 2nd in state. And also is in all honors classes. Why do I see? I put poetry down again. She said what makes her happy is being creative and writing.
Yeah.
Where I got poetry from. And she wants to be a writer when she grows up.
Yeah.
I got some of it right.
I'm Crystal. Nice to meet everybody. I unfortunately did not get to participate in this awesome activity. I had something else that night, but I am going to read about Paige. Come on over. Okay. So Paige is in 8th grade at Tooele Junior High. Bookworm does not adequately define Paige. She is constantly reading. Every day we remind her to take her book away from the dinner table. Been there, done that. It is an obsession. One thing that she is proud of is it's fun to see her light up over things she loves. Even before books, her first love was music. Paige has been singing since she was very young and is part of a local singing group called Notability. She is also very involved in the Tooele High School band. She plays percussion and absolutely loves being part of the drum line. When Paige was younger, she enjoyed clogging. Can we have an example?
No.
Probably because it involved rhythm and music. She is determined, hardworking, and loves people, especially those who don't mind her happy, quirky nature. Paige is also learning 3 languages. She entered the Spanish dual language immersion program when she was in 1st grade and is practically fluent in Spanish. She also has a little sister with severe hearing loss, so she has been around sign language most of her life. Now she has a blast studying ASL in high school. Here's a couple descriptive words her parents gave. Bookworm, lover of music, unexpectedly determined, responsible and respectful, and busy and beautiful.
I'm really happy to be here tonight, part of the library board and part of, recognizing these youth. This is Cora Christensen, and I had a delightful time in talking to her about everything she likes to do. Oh, we're not hearing her. I guess I need to grow high. Okay. Should I start over? Okay. Anyway, I would like to introduce Cora Christensen, age 14, 9th grader. And her parents are here, and some of the things I would like to talk about who she is. And I will tell you, if I could be a tiny bit as talented as this young lady, she just blew me away. For example, she has played double bass for 3 years. She likes to bake and cook, and she likes to try new recipes. She's interested in Chinese cooking. We talked about that a little bit because I said, wow, I feel lucky to do pot roasts and chicken and stuff like that, Never. And she showed me pictures. I was just blown away. She likes to draw, and she did take 2nd place for a bookmark art contest for the Tooele Library. She likes to write stories. Her art is awesome. She had a booth at the Utah State Fair, Eastern Arts, archery. And I have a son who's really good at archery, so I know how hard it is. I never realized you needed that kind of strength. Carving. She showed me a picture of one of the things that she carved. I was just very impressed. Swimming, interested in calligraphy, Chinese language, and more Chinese cooking and baking. I just can't say enough. Just wonderful young lady. Thank you.
Okay, our last two, certainly not the least. Zoe, come up. I love Zoe. I met her for, 10 minutes, but I love her. This is Zoe Hunt. She is in 8th grade at Tooele Junior High. Her parents are Jessica and Eli. Where are they? Oh, hello. So Zoe and I talked a little bit, and she loves math, which is like a 180 from me. So I always admire people who do numbers. She loves math and history. She loves about herself that she can focus on the positive, which is a huge deal, I think. I asked her what she hoped to do for the teens in Tooele, and she genuinely wants teens in Tooele to have a safe place to be in the library where they don't feel alone, which is what libraries are for, right? As Mrs. Black knows, right? She is very proud of herself for some of the things that she has gone through in her life. She lost a sister and best friend to suicide in the last year, which impacted her deeply. And being involved at her old school before she moved to Tooele helps her, and that is what kind of drives her to want to help others in this capacity. Her mom is her best friend, and she loves her relationship with her mom, even though she's got 13 siblings. So to be who she is in the midst of 13 siblings, I think is quite commendable. Thank you, Zoe. And Hope, the last of our bunch, but we love her too. Hope Wilkinson, she goes to Cypress High School. She's a junior. And her parents, Emily and Jory Clausen and Megan and Craig Writing. Are they here? I just want to see. Oh, good. So Hope and I talked. She loves working through things one step at a time. She just takes one little baby step. And she loves trying new things. She has great hopes for the teens of Tooele through being on this board. She wants to give them a safe space to make friends. She loves the teen time that the library has. She is quite proud of her ability to advocate for people. And she attributes her name to this quality, or this quality to her name, excuse me, and helping her friends get things done when they need to get things done. I asked her what makes her happy, and she said food, which is dear to my heart. She has 2 half-brothers whom she loves and says they make her happy as well. And she loves learning anything challenging. So I just love hearing that from teenagers, right? That they are willing to take on the challenge. So thank you, Hope. So this is our Teen Advisory Council. And if we could give them a huge, rousing round of applause. And their parents, could you just stand up real quick? And we want to thank you for raising such phenomenal children. And if the council would indulge us with a picture, I think you're well versed in how this goes. That would be great.
You want to go in the rotunda to take,
Do you want to do the rotunda?
just because there's
Yeah.
more people? Okay,
Let's go.
let's do it.
Yeah, me too.
Right? I'll just walk it over there.
All right, now that we've done all the fun stuff, let's move to item 6. This one can be fun too. This is our public comment period. We invite anyone from the public to come up. We ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes or less and that you sign the paper over here. So the time is now open for the public.
He sat down.
Oh, all right. Okay, seeing no one come forward, we will close the public comment period. And we will move on to item 7, which is Resolution 2022-92, a resolution of the Tooele City Council declaring certain technology-related equipment and certain personal property surplus and authorizing its disposal, presented by Michelle Pitt, the City Recorder.
Thank you. We are bringing some items from 2 different departments to you and asking that you declare them surplus. We have a long list of items from the Information Systems Department, and they're attached to the resolution. We like to keep those for a number of months, and so that we can make sure that nothing needs to be retrieved from them. We also use them for parts, and in whatever way we can, we'll use them. But if we can no longer use them, then we're ready to bring them to you and ask that they be declared surplus. And everything on this list has met those requirements. And we would like to dispose of them by taking them to a local recycling company and dispose of them that way. The other department is from the Parks Department, and they have a 35-foot Christmas tree, which you can see in the pictures, and they no longer meet the needs of the city. We're asking that you declare that surplus and allow us to sell that tree. So that's what we're bringing before you tonight.
All right, any questions from the council? I always wondered how tall that tree was, 35 feet.
Yeah, when we put it up, we don't put all the sections up either, so.
Oh, so it's not there.
It's really tall in the park, but we haven't done the whole 35 feet, so.
Interesting.
And the middle section lights may or may not work, depending on how they feel that day.
I remember that from last year.
That's how I feel some days too. Like those lights. All right, I'll entertain a motion on this resolution.
Mr. Chair, I move we approve Resolution 2022-92.
Second.
All right, motion from Councilwoman Manzio and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzio?
Aye.
Councilman Graff?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. That passes 4-0. Item 8 is Resolution 2022-93, a resolution of the Tooele City Council acknowledging Mayor Wynn's appointment of Tooele Downtown Alliance Committee members, presented by Jared Stewart, the Economic Development Director.
All right. Hello, Council. This is a pleasure to have Wendy Rogers appointed to this this committee. It's been interesting to watch as the Downtown Alliance kind of accomplishes things, right? That at first, Wendy is a co-owner of the Vintage Barn inside the Merc, and they've always been on our email list, but at first that was all they were interested in, was just being on the email list. And after a while they said, hey, you guys are actually doing things. This is kind of exciting and fun, and we want to be a part of this. So it's been wonderful to have Wendy and her business partner Dee Dee part of the participating and helping out. And Wendy's already been helping out with events and fully participating, and came to a workshop this morning. And I neglected to remind her that this was happening tonight. So probably, I told her this would happen on Wednesday, but that was a week ago. And so she's probably not here because I forgot to remind her. So sorry, Wendy, when you hear this, so anyways, thank you.
All right. Any questions or comments?
She's a great choice.
I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, make a motion that we approve Resolution 2022-93.
I'll second.
I had a motion from Councilman McCall, a second from Councilwoman Manzione. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Graff?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
And Councilman Brady, I also vote aye.
Thank you.
That passes 4-0. Move on to item 9, which is our minutes from Wednesday, October 19th, City Council and RDA work meeting, and Wednesday, October 19th, the council business meeting. Any changes? All right. I will make a motion that we approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, and a second from Councilman Graff. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilman Graff?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
And Councilman Brady, I also vote aye. Item 10 is our invoices and purchase orders presented by Michelle Pitt, the city recorder.
Okay, we have an invoice to LensLock, and this is for the police department's body-worn cameras and data plan. It is $40,760. That's all tonight.
Is that an annual payment? Or
That
is
is
it
a yearly payment, yeah. We'll owe that for 5 years.
Okay. Any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman McCall,
I'll second.
second from Councilwoman Manzione. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Graff?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. It passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 11 is to adjourn. So we are adjourned at 8:08.